Hey everybody, I feel like I owe you an update to OGHQ. It's moving. I'm actually pretty proud of myself for how patient I've been. You have to remember, buying this facility was a major financial commitment. We had run inventory down low in order to make the move, and of course we didn't get occupancy for several months, so my inventory had to build it back up, and I needed to get things like the parking lot done, and we need to get the studio complete. And so this taking the wallpaper off, and you see the chaos of my Rousseau cabinets arrive. There's a lot of chaos still in this facility. I feel like we did a great job moving in, and now our future after we've gotten through a lot of the projects we had on the calendar, our future looks a little bit cleaner than what you're going to see here. But I always like to show you where I'm at in life and share with you what the place looks like. So this is our home. I've actually changed quite a bit what I think this purpose of this facility is going to be. So I'm going to take you on a tour, show you up to date what we've done thus far and what we're planning and what's changed, and hope you're looking forward as much as I am to the garage install series. As you can see, stuff started showing up. So this is the entryway. If this is your first time watching the video, you can see, we've got some work to do. There's this crappy lick and stick tile on here. You got the nice, beautiful cloud cover of the wallpaper. This, I think, becomes the entry. This will be sort of a small, display. Eventually, I envision us having some sort of reception. So we'll have some sort of hybrid role where we have a reception area. What's going to happen here locally, and this has changed since the acquisition of this building, I hadn't really planned this or hadn't thought of this idea, but I, of course, sold my home that's down the street from here, moved to Middleton, which is about 18 miles from here. It's about 28 to 30 minutes if it's a straight shot. And I'm building a design studio there. And so what's going to happen, this is going to be our warehouse and our flagship showroom. So we'll be getting people coming through the door, I think, often. We're also going to be using this as a large event space, maybe build a big cars and coffee type event. I'm thinking about doing something instead of cars and coffee, maybe doing more like an evening cruise. There's a lot more of that around here, with classic cars and stuff. So I'm kind of toying with some different ideas of the type of event we'll put together. But whatever we choose to do, we're going to do it on a regular basis. We'll be doing it sort of month to month. 1 month down at the Middleton showroom, the next month here. We have 180 parking spaces, and we're starting to make friends with the people next door. So there's another 100 spaces there. So it's possible that maybe we could put together, a big car event once a month. So right now, these are sold, so I've sold these, waiting on the guy to come pick them up, but this was the MSS Plus array that you've seen in all the videos for the last, 3 or 4 years, and then this is the new setup that you'll be seeing in the videos for the next, who knows how long. But I'm so pleased with the color. I'm always a gray and white and black kind of, simple kind of guy, and so I went a little wild on these. This is very Matt Mormon blue, It's pretty good. And so this is these cabinets are from Rousseau, which I believe are the best cabinets on the planet. I still love the Sonic stuff. We have MSS Plus, and actually my studio is going to have some MSS Plus and some of the Rousseau. We needed a separate custom cabinet line. I thought that was going to be Lista, and we've made the transition to Rousseau. And so our cabinet offering is Pro Slat on the medium end, and then Sonic MSS Plus and Rousseau on the higher end. And so I'm going to unbox these, a separate video coming, and share with you my initial thoughts. Fit, finish, the structural integrity, they're just incredible. And we got these new cabinets. So I'm going to make a dedicated video on this as I get it all opened up. So then over here is our conference, and I think this will stay conference. We had to take some of the desks out, or some of the MSS Plus out, which we had on the back wall there. But this is just temporarily here. This will become a regular conference room, and so we'll light this better, probably do some technology in here as well, some monitors on the wall, set up for larger meeting space. I think there's a very high probability that over the next 2 years we're probably going to end up doubling our force, doubling our employee base. especially with our thinking about doing designs and building garages here locally. So we're going to have a lot going on here. But this facility I envisioned being our like flagship showroom facility where every room was perfect. I think it's going to be it's going to be a few offices and going to become a giant warehouse. So we're going to need the space. I have all the home theater products that are going to be coming in. I pitched, BDI furniture. Wolf Sub-Zero is coming to visit. I'm trying to convince them to let me become the local Wolf Sub-Zero dealer. We'll be bringing in all our closet systems, NatureCast, all the stuff is going to be coming to this facility. I'm going to need every square inch of it. We're also going to be bottling our own products. We're working on stuff like this. Like this is a bag of beads of scent. We'll probably be assembling this stuff. So there's going to be a lot more assembly and construction of product here. We're going to be building our DI systems, and so my hope of taking like a third of this and making it all office and showroom space is not really going to be viable. I think I'm going to need more space for the warehouse side of things. So in here is where everybody's at. Actually, a little plug for you. I'm revamping the new nodes, the new Blue Sound node icon and the little baby node and the update to the current node is changing the game quite a bit on what products I would carry for our line of audio for the garage. So we're having an audio private sale. The guys are kind of staged and putting stuff together. That's going to be October 18th from 6 to 7:30. Is that what we decided? 6 to 7:30 p.m. October 18th. So 2 Fridays from now, we're putting together all kinds of neat packages that will work well in your garage of some of the systems that, again, the new nodes will supplant and simplify, but still great systems that we're going to be putting together here for you. So we'll be selling the stuff off somewhere between, 10 to 35% off, depending on, which product we're talking about here. I call it an audio private sale because the way it's going to work is we're going to be live. We're going to have a document that will give you sort of a password to. You'll log into the document, and we'll make it a seamless process where people can buy what you want. So we still have this set up. I think this will probably change quite a bit on what this becomes. We'll figure that out as we figure out what the design center is down in Middleton and what that looks like. But currently we have the design folks here. We have the product creation folks here and the website and apparel and all of that stuff here with Bryce and Tommy and team. And then we have the tech support team over here. And so all of them are here, but this we'll probably be changing how this is set up. We do have Obsessed Home Theater coming in here, and so Rusty and Michael, I'll show you where I think we're going to turn one of the rooms into our demo room, and so we're going to have the home theater folks housed here as well to help share in the cost. Eventually, we'll probably need a separate home theater facility, but as we build that business, we have plenty of space here that we could fit into. So the break room, what I'm hoping to do here is that we can outfit it with Wolf Sub-Zero and Penville. So I'm hoping to do that. So the break room right now is holding dry ice machines. It's holding LE polishers. It's holding Renzo pressure washers. And so we're just kind of storing stuff. Because we haven't gotten our vertical storage set up yet, we're using and just kind of filling in the gaps with wherever we can fit things. But the organization and structure, all this stuff will go up. We'll be doing much more palletizing. Remember when I started the business, my cabinet array was like right flanking where all the stuff was. And so I wanted everything unboxed, all the bottles facing out, where we're going to be much more of a production facility. At least this facility will become. And the showroom will be separated and down in a town square where we'll be getting lots of foot traffic. And so a lot of the videoing and stuff will still happen in the backside of this facility, but we do have it separated pretty well where we're going to be able to maybe do things the next level efficiency, get things shipped out to you as quickly as possible. So then down here is where we're going to be opening this up. If you remember this, if you watched the other tours, this is where we're doing our assembly, building hoses, We're doing, the guys are building hoses right now. We're building hoses. We're bottling drying aid. We're bottling decon soap. We're bottling Obsessed Garage tire dressing. So we're bottling all that stuff here. But we're going to start likely bottling Brake Buster, hopefully Kosh Chemi, hopefully Car Pro. We're going to be bottling stuff in Press-All bottles. The Press-Alls are finally done, I think. When I knock on something, I think they're good. So squeeze bottles looking good, and hopefully very soon we'll have that line here as well. So the idea here is that the ceiling will come out, and we'll go up, and so we have. I think to the trusses is like 12.5 feet. To the ceiling is 15. One of the problems we have here is, we have to relight it. We have to redo, some drywall, and depending on how much we take out of here, on how much extra drywall work we have to do. But again, the plan here was to. This was always the plan to do curated and assembly and manufacturing in this side of the building. We'll see how it goes. It may move out to the front, but the plan here is to go up, get the carpet out, just polish the concrete, make it really simple. We'll probably keep these offices here. Right now, this is my temporary spot. This is where I'm always playing with crap. Ooh, we got some new cutting board examples. Look at this. So I got the tri-bands because the OSD audios, my internet wasn't working at my house, and turns out it was the subwoofer, wireless subwoofer controller that was nuking my internet. I had like the whole sales force of the entire Centric Fiber come out to my house to try to figure out what was wrong, and then at night it dawned on me, oh shoot, I bet you it's these. So these are tri-band from SVS, so hopefully this works. I got my Penville catalog here, right, with all the new Penville stuff. This is the color of hood that I think I'm going to do. It's called Cerused White Oak. And then, they gave me a catalog of all their different examples that they've done. So I don't know what I'm going to do with cabinets, but I know that I need them in my house. I know we need them here in the break room, and I know we're going to need them at the design studio. But these are, I think a local guy made these cutting boards for us. This looks really nice. That's cool. I haven't talked to the guys about this. Neat. Our other cutting board guy disappeared. So this is where set up shop for the time being. This is my master collection of Koken for the cabinets that are going to go in the Middleton house. These are my 4 sub-6s that are going to go in the Middleton house. So I'm swapping out. I like the BP8s and the PWM3s, but I ordered floor standing PSBs, and I'm going to do a black center channel. So I'm doing 4 of these subs instead of the BP8s. I like these subs a lot, so I'm doing those. So you can see the guys are bottling drying aid here. So we have a rather simple setup, but we've done, I don't know, probably 10, 15,000 bottles of maybe more of the various products here with our bottling machine. And so it's really fascinating to see Griot's Garage is bottling millions of bottles of stuff onto 8 bottling stations. And so we're going to get a couple of maybe four bottling stations, and then probably do some gravity bottling as well. But imagine we have totes stacked 3 or 4 high of product coming from all over the world where we're bottling it in. Bryce is actually making his own version. We have our own version of a bottle, and then we Press-All. So we have an entry-level bottle and then a higher-end Press-All bottle, and we're working on pricing on Press-All. Now that we've gotten the bottle the way we want, we've got to get the pricing so that it makes sense. This is where I've been doing my little mad scientisting in here. So is this our next bottling machine you're putting together?
The newest.
So we're going to have 3 of them?
Yep.
Nice.
We'll be able to bottle 6 different products.
Okay,
So
cool.
we have a wide off at the pump.
Yeah.
So we have 2 hoses per pump.
So I don't know if you guys have saw me take a tour of like Adams or Griot's. They're bottling way more than we are, and they have they were doing things on like table with a gravity valve. So we're going to have a crude setup and we'll grow into it is the plan. So I've been working on Milwaukee accessories and working on, putting together my little kits here. And hopefully soon I'll have it set up for you people. I'm going to go and redig into the entire Milwaukee line and simplify it, and hopefully try to provide you some value. So I've been in here unboxing this crap and putting together kits usually from like 5 to 7 p.m. when I'm up here. I come up here on Tuesdays and Fridays. I've been sitting down there building the Middleton garage the other days of the week. This is Susie, runs my life basically. So Susie's office is here for now, but again, we'll see. We may end up in Middleton. We'll see where we end up. And then back here, so you can see here's what a tote looks like, a 330-gallon tote, or I think it's 1,200 liters or something like that. I forget what's the conversion. And so imagine we're going to have stacks of these totes. This entire room will be filled up. At times, like if we're bringing, say, CarPro Eraser in a tote, and we're going to need to buy like a dozen of them at a time to make sure we have enough. Because my plan, again, is not to create my own line of products. Here's hyper dressing right here. My plan is to bring in the product in large quantity and then bottle it in a better bottle with a better sprayer with a matching label, but it's co-branded. So I'm actually pitching all the brands now to allow me to do that. I don't think I can create a better detailing line that would beat the current best-in-class product per category. And so I think the way to do this is to co-brand and partner. And then every brand is on notice. If OG Drying Aid, if I find something better, I'm going to punt it and we'll replace it with whatever that better product is. And then there's a real benefit to both me and the brand if we kind of work together and they send me the product. There's also a benefit to me from a business perspective. And then when I buy a tote, the price per gallon or price per liter or price per 32 ounce is a fraction of what it is when you get a landed bottled solution. So it increases margin. It gives me the ability to maybe put it in a press-all and have it still be a reasonable price for the the end consumer. So in here is where my studio is going to be. So the way that I'm envisioning this, sorry, there's no light in here, but the way that I'm envisioning this is the $1 million garage, right? This is the $500,000 aspirational garage. The Middleton showroom and my house in Middleton will be the realistic garage, right? So my house in Middleton, again, it's still not super realistic, but like it's the best that you could do in a nice house. And then this would show you what you could do if you had a car barn or a giant facility or a room to build something really, really great, really amazing, or a dedicated wash bay and crazy lighting and amazing cabinets, all the stuff. And then the Middleton showroom will be much more practical. Like here's what a normal, nice, practical garage would be like. And then we'll have houses all around here where we do normal garages, flooring, lighting, cabinets, flooring, lighting, flooring, and an attic lift. And so we're going to be doing that on the OG Builds channel where we're showing, just realistic. I mean, I understand like my Lady Lake garage or even the Middleton garage is not practical. I think the Lady Lake garage, I added it up, would have been like $260 grand to do all the stuff that we did to it. If you hired people and kind of set it up. The Middleton garage will probably be like $125,000, something like that, if you did all the stuff that we did to it. Still, again, not very practical, but it's something you could build up to, and you can take pieces of it. This garage, if you were to build it from scratch, is probably, forget the building. If the building was already there, it's probably going to have, $450,000, $500,000 worth of stuff in it. So again, not very practical, but I need to be able to show people what could be. Let's show you what the possibilities are. And so this is 28 feet deep, 88 feet wide. This takes time to get all the permitting and stuff done. So I think the engineering's done on the doors. I'm actually flying to Rytec on Monday to go visit and see how they build doors. And so we're going to shoot a video with those guys. The Rytec doors we're waiting on. We just got the permits through for the sprinklers to move those up. It's like $15,000 to move these sprinklers up. They had to add more heads. They had to redesign it. They have to then, I guess, depressurize the system and then repressurize the system. And so it's a whole lot of money to move these up. But this here will be the wash bay. This will be the dry ice bay. This will be the Mount Mormon Studio Pretty Bay. Those Rousseau cabinets you saw are going to go basically from this line here all the way to the door. Then we'll have another Rousseau array in the corner, and then we'll order some lev rack. We're going to have a big lev rack setup as well. 2 Nussbaum lifts. We're going to have a Nussbaum 2-post lift over there, and all kinds of other amazing stuff. So Cree lighting, Swiss Trax flooring, Rousseau cabinets, lev rack. We have Koken, Wera, Sonic. You know, everybody's involved in this project. Rytech. It's going to be really freaking cool. And so the way that I envision this now, the way that I'm setting this up, this is our marquee showroom. We're going to open the doors up, host events. You come and take a tour. You would come here first. Then you would take a trip down to Middleton, see the design center there. We'll have several houses down there that you can go and view and see. We're going to even have one house. We'll start with one. We're going to have one house where it'll be a destination OG property where you could come and stay if you wanted to. You can borrow that for money. That's going to be like a 1,700 square foot, very simple house with a nice little garage and a nice little home theater setup that will be practical for people to come and stay for a week or stay for a few days. If you're going to build your garage, you'd want to come see and touch and feel all of this stuff. So even though this becomes one big giant warehouse, we still have our production, our facility here that is fully functional. This will work. This is where my lab will go. Over in this section, we're going to have a big giant rolling Rousseau table, and then my lev rack will be along this wall here. So the lev rack is where I'll store exhaust and suspensions and wheels and all that stuff. And so this becomes a big giant garage. I'm not building an office in the middle, so that's why we took the wall out. And so it's just a big open empty space. As soon as the sprinklers are done, once the sprinklers are done, paint, then Cree lighting, then drywall, and then doors and all that stuff. So right now we're building the Middleton garage, but this is set up and ready to go for the process of getting the sprinkler system set up and done properly. This still makes me nervous of when we pull all the ceilings out, do I have to pay $15,000 every room to have them redo the sprinklers? I guess if we had, let's say we had 5 sections of the building and I spent $100,000 on having proper permitted, I guess we could be okay. So here's a built hamper shipment. This is a lot of, I think touchless is pretty much toast. It's pretty much sold out. So they're trying to get that next shipment of traceless on the water. So traceless is sold out again. So we do have plenty of touchless. I'm getting ramped up here to start to wholesale it as well. Once we get touchless and traceless, working through the system, then we can start ordering the other Built Hammer products and bringing those over as well. I actually have a call with some potential partners this week about getting this distributed, throughout the U.S. through other retailers as well. So what is likely to happen for me personally and all these different entities that I now own is I've become much more of a distribution company to help. I've been so fortunate to have a lot of influence in the marketplace, but I've gotten kind of screwed in a lot of the deals. I haven't put together good deals. And so when I launch a product and make a product, take off, I haven't really gotten credit for those things like, the Actives or somewhere around here, the Active 2.0s. I just didn't set up distribution right. And so in the future, I'll make sure to negotiate better deals. And so we're going to need space to do that here. So then all these offices here have, a certain purpose. My dad manages all this stuff, where, in here we have Krenzel's Cox Reels, Griot's Garage. I think these are foam cannons. So we have foam cannons set up there. They've already taped them, torqued them, put the proper orifice size in them. So we carry, different, pre-fab. So we unbox them, put them together with the right kind of plug. And here is where the excess audio stuff is. So where we don't have room on the shelves. So we're going to have an audio sale. If anybody needs a PC 4000, I've got an extra one here. And so we're kind of gathering up our audio stuff. We're going to have an audio, for the audio private sale. Back here, I think is Pressall. These are shelves. Oh, shoot, I got some Milwaukee chop saws I got to figure out. Hose reels, extra microfiber. And so imagine in the future, all this stuff that's kind of put in a spot will be on a rack and it'll be barcoded. It will be inventoried. It will be, so we know what the inventory is. This is all inventoried and scanned. You can see, storage 2. So this has all been earmarked. This is, this one here is, I don't know if this one has so that's, curated storage. So they barcoded and set everything up. These are excess press-all. So these are the garden yellows that we'll be selling off. We'll probably stop bringing these in because we've figured out that which ones are the best bottles. So we do have a buy one get one free. These are not the new bottles. They're still great. Buy extra tips. You want extra tips because sometimes with certain products the tips fail. Oh, just yellows, and in both sizes, and the blue 500s. Yeah, are the ones. We got some Koshkemi here. We've got tons of hose. In order to do hose, this is a problem. I have to buy like 250,000 feet at a time, which is why I never have any money because I'm always broke trying to create the product and make it available. So we've got garden hose. But you can see these guys, the hose doesn't come in like this. These guys build it, OG spec, right? And so the hose comes on rolls like you see, and then they build it. And so the guys here use the ferrules, they crimp it, they put it together, and then these are air hoses. So this is Continental F5. That's Continental Frontier, and then that's Gates. These are the best hoses I think on the planet. And so unfortunately, it just so happens they're blue. They just don't make it in other colors. They make it in red or blue. We're certainly not going to do red. And so I'd love it if they made it in black and gray. And so in the future, you can see how they measure it and then cut it and then roll it up on the rollers. So we had to figure this all out, in order to do it. I was shipping this hose across the country and they could never keep up. And so we had to do it ourselves. And so bottling, assembly, even though it's, a little chaotic and we've got, we're lacking a little bit of, we don't have a finished, completed project or product here. I think we're doing all right for being here for 9 months now. I guess we moved in March. So we've only been here for 6 or 7 months. You can see we cut a hole in the door so they could at least fit the pallet jack. I think this is the Swiss Tracks. Thanks to Swiss Tracks for the very first sponsorship I've ever gotten. Everybody thinks I get everything for free. I don't get squat, ever. I don't want it. I don't want that responsibility. So this studio was the first time I'd asked Cree, Rytech, I asked the vendors, I asked Rousseau, I asked them to sponsor this studio, Nussbaum. I asked them if they would sponsor it, not paying me money, but just to get me the product. And so that's the Swiss Tracks that's in here for this, this section, and ready to go once we get the thing moving. And then we're going to make a lot of awesome content for you guys. We're going to get them. The other requests I made of all the manufacturers was that you come down here and let's present your product in a really positive light. So we have 1,200 square feet of hallways. And so part of the plan here is to get rid of all these darn hallways, tear it out. Lighting in here is terrible. We keep most of the lights off most of the time, but because they're all still fluorescent, so it's just nuking power. And so at some point this will all be hopefully Cree LED. We'll have this whole thing all dialed in. But these walls come out as the warehouse expands. We make it bigger. My mounting and balancing machine's sitting here, so this goes into the into the studio. The other I'll show you in a minute here, but one of the problems we have is the AC system. We don't have control of it yet. So our friend John Calkin is going to come in and program and set up. We're going to set up new, basically a little networked variable valve flap. It opens and closes valve, or a flapper in the AC system. So we'll have infinite control. I think we have something like 16 or 18 zones. And so he's going to calibrate and program all of that, so we'll have full control of the AC system. Right now it's just either not firing or firing and freezing up and all kinds of problems. So hopefully we can get that all dialed. But you can see the structure of how we organize. So the big door is where we receive, the smaller door is where we have outgoing, and so in here is all done through DepositCo. So they're scanning everything. So we're barcode scanned. So we have some pretty sophisticated inventory management, but they have, I guess these are iPhones, or whatever this is. It might be some sort of Android device. And so these are set up to scan, so they scan the items. They pick 6 orders at a time. Eventually, we have the capacity where we pick 12 orders at a time. When we get this facility fully functioning in the future, I think what we'll probably do is we'll bulk pick to a picking line. So we'll bring from bulk picking to a picking line where you'll walk down the middle, and then we'll have red and green lights that tell you where to go and where to pick up. The funny thing about warehousing, or the interesting thing about it, is you need help when you don't know what you're doing when you're starting out, but you don't have any money. And then when you finally get a little bit, then you've figured it out, so you don't need to hire somebody then. And so a lot of this we figured out on our own, and then with the help of Deposco, we've been able to get this facility set up pretty sophisticated. So this is about 5,000 square feet. So this is what the whole building will look like right in the future. We'll take out the ceiling, take out a bunch of the wiring and crap, put the lights up on the ceiling, and what I would love to have is some really sophisticated, amazing lighting in here someday, or when you walk down the aisle, the lights turn on and all that stuff. But again, I've been here for 6 months. I'm broke buying this place. So we had to get the air conditioning fixed. We had to get the parking lot done. We still haven't fixed the roof. Taking 3 buildings down to 1 has been super beneficial. And so you can see, this is another thing we're going to have here soon, Milwaukee. I've been trying to run Milwaukee inventory light, and we're going to revamp Milwaukee. I really understand it. It's a really complex product line to carry. It's very, very low margin. It's their idea is they kick back based on sales, but even then, the margins are still less than 20%. So it's a huge inventory suck, and I just have too many tools. I also have a good understanding of the tools and I want to have all the tools, but which ones am I using? Which ones am I absolutely not using? And so we'll be revamping that at some point here in the not too distant future. We have our car sense. Boxes go here. So what happens is they pick from ABC inventory. It comes to this shelf here. The pickers then grab it off of there. Obviously, our next step would be to get conveyors where it brings it to the packer so they don't have to come pick it up. We're also having the pickers, because the pickers can pick faster than the packers pack. And so the pickers will help. Everybody's on lunch right now. But the pickers have been helping get to the packers' packing stations. They've been using carts a lot more because we're breaking all our people. My mom's falling apart over there. We're breaking our people, so we're trying to figure out things that are more efficient. And eventually, hopefully, we'll have conveyors running around with motors that make things easier. But they have this place. We took some of the lights, so we lit this best so they can see really well. The pickers actually confirm when they rescan each item to make sure everything's been picked properly, and then they'll print out the labels right here, and then all the outgoing stuff goes on pallets, and then we still we don't have enough. We're doing somewhere around 200 or 300 orders a day. Sometimes we'll do 700 or 800 orders if we have something that shows up that was on back order. But we still currently kind of help the UPS guy load up his truck. But at some point, we'll probably just have a trailer parked up back. These are not dock height, so that's one thing I would love to have someday in a warehouse with actual dock height stuff. But this is what we got. We make do with what we got. So we're not scanning boxes. So Ted, correct me if I'm wrong, boxes are still site ordered. So we're not managing that with software.
Yeah,
you just site. Yeah. So we buy from Uline. We've tried to do some other box companies, but the box quality that Uline has is unmatchable. And they give us reasonable pricing. But that's one thing that at some point we'll probably barcode and scan that. But these guys are so good at knowing what we need and when we need it. And we do a lot of ordering. So we do a lot of just-in-time stuff here. So the shelves look like they don't have a lot on them, but we have stuff coming in every day. And so rather than us storing like hoses, we have to store a lot of hoses. But like foam cannons are coming in all the time. We're doing much more just-in-time stuff than trying to just fill the building up with a bunch of crap. So in that corner is where the guys do purchasing. So Donnie and Drew do purchasing and try to manage inventory the best they can. Over here is some overflow of some stuff that this is like inventory of stuff that we maybe don't sell as much. We got some like hoodies and shirts and things like that extra. We have some Cree lighting stuff there that will then feed the shelves. So buckets, excess buckets and stuff. So you can see they have a structure. What's so satisfying to me is like I didn't pick any of this and just let the team do what they do, which, as you might imagine, is, you know, it's hard for us crazy people. But the place is a pretty well-oiled machine, even though there's quite a bit of chaos. But every room seems to have a purpose, and the funny part for me is that like I didn't choose the purpose, but they've done a good job of, you know, putting it all together. Just a little office here for you know, for the warehouse people if they have to do a meeting. This here is where all our DI stuff is. So this is where we've been kind of playing with DI and shelves and also vacuums as well. So we have a little toolbox set up there. Again, these halls will come out at some point. Our AC system, which is wild. So step one was to get the darn AC system functioning. So this room is crazy. We have this cleaned out and ready to go. We're going to have to pull this control out. Right now, this is how we run a $800,000 air conditioning system. It's a freaking mess. So we're going to have a really sophisticated control, and so we've ordered all the parts. John, who is helping us do this, he hurt his back, and so he had to have back surgery, and so we're just kind of nursing the system. My dad's just kind of opening flaps and closing flaps and trying to keep it from flooding. We've flooded, you know, where it freezes up and floods, seems like twice a week. So we got brooms in here. And so there's 3 air handlers, 1, 2, and 3. And so air handler 3 is here, air handler 2 is here. So this feeds this side of the building. This feeds the bulk of the building, and then air handler 1 is the warehouse, is standalone. And so we're gonna have full access, full control. We're going to run the place at like 76 degrees or something like that, try to get the humidity out. So John is kind of revamping our system. But I do have all new condensers outside, so all new super efficient variable speed carrier condensers that feed. This is like 50-year equipment here. So everything's functional, everything's good, we just need to control it. It's not like a normal system where you can just turn the thermostat up and down on the wall. We have to control it via flaps. And each one of these, you need to do how does he do it? He does the integral of the sine wave in the room, so he's figuring out what the integral is in order to get the flow of the air and the pressure. I don't frickin' know. I'm speaking out my rear. I understand calculus to a point, but here we have Cox hose reels, which we just got a shipment in, and so Cox, we do have to stock more because they're terrible at producing. And so we do have to stock more stuff. This is my lev rack. This is the extra, you know, Sonic cabinet. And so this here is where we have some overflow Cox. I think there's some design. Most of it is just find a place to put stuff and try to make it look as decent as possible. So this was our, you know, some of our stuff from the yarn building. In here we've got some bubble wrap and tape. So. And here, the Wabas have all their gear, you know, for video gear. This, I think, will probably become the home theater demo room. The problem is we got windows, so I'm not sure what we're going to do there. But this is the right size room, and so this will become likely where we test speakers and do A/B testing and stuff like that. And so we're going to have to do, you know, put some carpeting in and stuff like that in here. Figure out, you know, get the variable flap set up so that we're not. You know, humming air in here, but that's probably what this will become at some point, is our home theater test area. So all this comes out, you know, this probably stays, but all this area opens up to warehouse, or this actually may come out, and we would just, you know, keep the office on that side. I've kind of changed my whole thought process on what this place is going to look like. Power cords, more buckets. This is where all the videos you guys watch, this is where all that's created in our little temporary setup here. Seems like our whole life is temporary. This is the I guess the the pros and cons of growth. When you're growing, you have chaos. When you're stagnant, everything's kind of put together. So I guess you take the good with the bad. And so in here is our temporary photo studio. All right, so this is where we have and we shoot all of our photography for the website. So Nick has his ProPhoto lights, and then Canon 5D Mark IV, and then back here is Mike and Trevor's setup, right? And so this is where this will eventually become sort of like a machine shop, where we have cabinets and countertop, and kind of set this up for all the production of all of our stuff and making stuff. And again, I think that we're going to sort of figure this out as I continue to revamp my studio down and decide what my, or I guess not revamp, but figure out what my design center is going to look like down in Middleton. So it's actually not quite as disorganized as I thought. It seems like maybe you guys have been cleaning up a little bit, so this has, I gotta sell, this was from the podcast studio. So this place looks pretty decent. You guys must have been cleaning up a little bit here. So I just have a random, $6,000 set of speakers sitting there. I need to sell those. Yeah, it's freaking wild. Some Swiss Tracks colors, some samples of countertops, a random 3D printer. I feel like a regular YouTuber. This is what all the, unboxing therapy, all these guys use, Linus Tech Tips, Adam LZ, they all live in freaking chaos. They have aspirations to get things organized, but you just got stuff in drawers. So I can promise, this is a Matt Mormon guarantee. At some point, every drawer, every square inch will either have a barcode on it or have a specific structure. But like I said, I pat myself on the back. I've been really patient because I normally wouldn't have been. It's just the scale of this is just too much for me to take on that weight all by myself. And so we're just kind of taking it in one step at a time. You have every wall needs to be patched, every wall needs to be painted, every yellow needs to be eradicated. But it seems that that's my place in this world, is to eradicate yellow. It's yellow lights, yellow walls, yellow trim, yellow everything. Chris's office is here. Chris's office will look like this for the next 25 years. It'll never change.
I'm pleasantly surprised that you noticed that things are looking a little better.
Yeah.
We get shipments full of your junk that show.
Yeah, Michelle jokes with me all the time. She's like, "You have so much stuff." I said, "No, well, I have to." It looks like a lot of stuff when you don't have the cabinets and the closets and stuff. Yeah, I've been on a little bit of a shoe chase, and so man, I got a lot of shoes going on. There's gonna be a shoe fire deal, free deal. No one wears my size though here, so anyway, back to the beginning, and let's let me show you what the outside looks like, and we'll wrap this one up. So the building is 26,500 square feet. We have like 180 parking spaces. One of the things I negotiated in the deal was that we had enough money to fix the roof and do the parking lot, and then we decided to do the air conditioning instead. And so the parking lot looks beautiful. I just got Preston Wise, my tree guy. He came. You can see the palms are all cleaned up. The trees have been trimmed. The landscaping's been kind of fixed by Grammer, our landscaping guy. We try to do it ourselves. It's just we have too many projects, too much to do. And so it's looking really good. Somebody smacked that curb there. I need to fix that, but we're looking like a real facility here. Next would be, we need to paint the exterior, do the signage out here. So I'd love to do some really cool signs on, both the street and on the building. People are always coming in here trying to get in the storage unit, get rid of the green doors and the yellow walls, but this place is freaking sweet, man. It's hard to believe that, a kid from a trailer park and I own this darn thing. Well, me and the bank own it, but I own a good chunk of it. And it appraised for almost $2 million more than what I paid for it, so that's pretty sweet. So I do have some equity in the deal. But clearly we have some room to expand. Man, this place looks great now out here. It looked like an overgrown jungle. And so now We've gotten our landscaping looking good. We've got our trees looking good. And then trucks come down here, so I technically own this, and the storage facility behind has an easement. So I own all this. I think it's like 3.5 acres or something like that. You got the shed. I don't even have anything in the shed, which is great. So we've got some room for expansion there. Generator, which might come in handy. I mean, we're sitting here the lull before the storm that's going to come through. I think we're going to be fine here in Central Florida. Tampa, probably not so much. But then, the trucks will come down here, and they got plenty of room to back in. I think this would be the section that maybe every 5 or 6 years we'll probably have to fix the asphalt. But I think it was like $100,000 to do the whole parking lot, which I negotiated in the deal. And so if we had to revamp this every 5 years, it probably wouldn't be that much to have done, just because of all the trucks coming and going. But it seems like it's holding up pretty well. So out here, this is where all the new condensers are. They're so much quieter than they were before. So these are all new. And so I'm in pretty good shape here. If I replace the roof in the next year or two, then I think we've got us a 30-year building. And you see all the parking back here. We paint these doors. Hey, who knows? If we do a really good job for Rytech, maybe they'll hook us up with some Rytech doors here too. That's my plan. And so back here is where the studio will be back here. So we'll have access right back here is where we'll put the two doors will come in, and then we'll probably set up and motorize this gate so that we can lock this up and keep things nice and organized back here. But the place is looking great. I hope it looks a little. Maybe I need to go back and watch the last video. It's looking pretty good. I think we've gotten this place pretty well put together. So yeah, thanks for all the support. Keep buying stuff so I can keep paying the mortgage. That'd be real helpful. Audio sale coming October 18th. That's Friday evening, 6:30 Eastern or 6 p.m. Eastern. And I want to clean up the audio stuff. We'll also have a sale on all the current audio stuff, the stuff that I'm not discontinuing. And will be obviously better discounts on the stuff that I'm kind of cleaning up and reorganizing. And I'll be talking about some of the new audio systems as well. And this weather's beautiful before the storm that comes through. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped about how this is turning out. One step at a time, one day at a time, living in chaos. But I think that makes for better videos. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.